When the world gets weird and the bills get thick, you call on Clint and you feature Dick. One talks numbers, the other talks slick. Two dads, one mic, yeah, this could stick. Clint's crunching figures straight to the point. Dick's just here to laugh in the joint. It's the Clinterific Show, featuring Dick. Dick's quick with a joke, Clint's got the math. Together they'll balance your checkbook and your laugh. They'll talk finance, fun, and fatherly fails, with liquidity dreams and 401k tales. So grab your coffee, join us a ticket, the Clinterific Show, featuring Dick.
And welcome back. We are
hey everybody.
We're back with episode 12 of the Clinterific Show featuring Dick. And y'all are in for a real doozy this week.
12 episodes, man.
Yeah.
We've been at this for a couple months now.
Yeah. Three
whole months.
Actually, well, I guess it's probably been closer to 4 because I think we started at the beginning of October.
No, I think it was November. Wasn't it November?
Maybe it
I know
was.
that we've missed a couple. We've missed a couple.
We did miss a few, so yeah, that makes sense. But yeah. So
wow.
Yep. Welcome to
this
episode.
Lasted
12,
longer than
everybody.
some of my relationships.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Longer than most of mine, and the only one that really lasted longer, I ended up marrying. So
Hey, no, that's
take that
good.
for what it's worth.
I'll remember that at the next family barbecue.
Yes. Well, how's your week been?
It's been, I don't know, man.
Did you have a good
getting
weekend
used-
at least?
I mean, it was okay. It was busy. Weekends. When the fuck did we? Sorry. Wow, that came right out. Please put a bleep sound on that in the post production. Man, Sundays I used to be so lazy. Like there used to be like nothing to do hardly.
That was the fun of Sundays. It's fun day, Sunday fun day, you know?
Right. Now it seems like I'm busier on Sundays than I am at work during the rest of the freaking week.
Yeah.
It's like I need to go to work to get a break from my Sunday.
Yeah, to some extent it's like as soon as you have kids, you're like, "Oh man, Sunday, I need a break from Sunday because there's just I want to do stuff, you know, things and stuff."
Right.
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, it would be so bad, but we're trying to be good, affluent white parents and get our kids into sports and stuff and do all that thing. And so my son's in basketball right now.
Nice.
Which at the end of the month, end of February, he'll be done, and then we'll have probably a month before. I think it's about a month before our daughter starts volleyball again.
Oh,
She did
okay.
volleyball in the fall. She's doing volleyball again in the spring, and
Nice.
our son might actually do flag football because apparently there's maybe a group that's doing that as well. So it's like
That's always fun.
never gonna get any time off from this nonsense.
You know, I still have a little bit of a twinge in my eye from the last time I played flag football. We had a group of guys that played flag football for Thanksgiving. Like, it's probably been 15 years ago. And a buddy of mine, he played rugby for like 4 years at the University of Arkansas. And he was
hot stuff.
He was a monster. And I mean, I'm not no skin and bones skeleton or anything like that. But and the thing that was funny is we were on the same team, and I zigged and he zagged, and I was looking the opposite direction, and we ran into each other, and I felt like a freight train had ran over me. I mean, and like he wasn't even trying to do anything. He just hit me, and he was so solid. And then I'm sure I'm probably a few vertebrae destroyed from that collision. So yeah, that was a fun ordeal. But
Speaking of collisions with rugby players, remind me to tell you about how I almost dated a former NCAA championship team winning female rugby player.
okay. I was about to say, like,
There's
y'all
a
are about
twist
to hear
there.
some
There's a twist
stuff
there at
that
the
I
end.
did not know. Learn something new every day.
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah. That was back in Dick's experimental days. When 2 dicks were more fun than one.
I mean, more is always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what they tell me on TV.
Yeah. Well, I definitely had a weekend and a great this super wonderful week. And
Oh yeah, last week or this week so far?
last week. So Anna's surgery was last week. So she had
That's
her
right.
full surgery done, and she's home. She's recovering well. The surgery went
Yeah.
about as well as we could expect. The doctors both that happened on Friday. We had to be up at 5:00 in the morning. The surgery started at around 8 and took, I think it was about 5 hours total.
Ow.
Yeah, it was a doozy. So
Yeah, they've come a long way with face transplants. I'm amazed.
yeah. Oh man, but yeah, no, she came out of it like a champ, and we had her home by 6:00 that night. Now she's moving slow, and rightly so. I will readily admit that me being a male is part of the less pain tolerant sex. That's for damn sure.
And I still think that's BS, but whatever.
The pain regimen that they have her on, like they basically told her when she was having the surgery that take some Tylenol and some Advil on alternating schedules, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this is some significant work, and you're like, yeah, just it's cool. But the thing that's hilarious about it, so I don't think this is a surprise to anybody because she's posted it all over Facebook. She had a full hysterectomy, and the thing that was funny is a few years ago when we were trying to decide, are we still going to have any more kids or anything like that, I didn't even plan a surgery. Just mentioned to our doctor that I was thinking about getting a vasectomy because we weren't sure about having any more kids at that point. I'm 39.
Right.
She just turned 40 back in on the 24th of January. So like we were kind of at a spot where like, okay, well, we need to make some decisions here on whether we want any more kids. We've got 2. Are we okay with that? Whatever. And we decided we weren't going to have any more kids. But I did not commit to a surgery. We didn't set up a date. I just mentioned this in passing, and he gives me some of the strongest opioids on the market that day. Like to go pick up on the way home. And I'm like, I mean, thanks. But
he saw you were going through some stuff. It's
Anna,
like
she shows up to the hospital to have a full hysterectomy and a hernia fixed at the same time, and they're like, "Yeah, you can just take Tylenol and Advil." What? What are we doing here? So anyway,
Yeah.
so that took up the vast majority of my weekend. I was helping take care of Anna and suffering through all that because I'm definitely the one suffering there. Not like she didn't have some significant plumbing work done, and so that happens, and then today, of all days, which I'm about to go on a rant. So I apologize if the language gets colorful and yeah. We
gather around, boys and girls. Uncle Clint's got a story to tell.
Goodness. Okay, so I don't even know if I've told you all of the details to this shitstorm that we have been part of, but we had an enormous water leak underneath our house. It's not the house that we currently live in because this happened 4 years ago. Because our insurance company's lawyers dragged everything out as long as they possibly could, essentially trying to run us out of money. This is a big insurance company, and they're trying to run us completely out of money, so we can't afford to even make a case for ourselves. So we had a main water line burst underneath our house. Not entirely sure what caused the damage, but the water line runs underneath the probably 75 to 80% of and inside of the slab of our house. So the only thing that the plumber told us when we called him because we were losing 5,000 gallons plus per month. My water bill between October and December was between $600 and $700 for a single month. So we were losing a gratuitous amount of water. I can't exaggerate how much water we were losing. And we had just finished having our home remodeled in 2021, and end of 2020, early 2021. We get back in the house. Anna is pregnant. We think that our water bill is just a little bit higher because she's taking baths, because that's all she's allowed to do when she's 8.5 months pregnant. Our daughter was born November 16 of 2021. And we find out that after our daughter's born, that we've got a significant water leak. And we don't even know where it's coming from. We call our insurance company and say, hey, we think there's a problem. We don't really know what it is. We don't even know if there's anything to report, but we're losing a lot of water. Well, within the next 30 days, we noticed that our brand new hardwood red oak flooring that is, less than a year old at that point, is starting to show signs of significant water damage. Well, anybody with a brainstem is going to say, hey, you're losing 5,000 gallons a month in the slab in your house. No wonder you have water damage. So we call a plumber. We take care of paying all the plumber repair bills and all that stuff because according to our insurance policy, we have to pay for the plumbing repairs because that's not included in homeowners insurance for whatever fucking stupid ass reason.
Beep.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm hot. We just finished court today, so I'm at the boiling point. So for some stupid ass reason, it apparently any water that's on the ground is what's called groundwater. Doesn't matter what its source is. As soon as it touches the ground, it's groundwater. Well, they have very specific language in their contract that says that groundwater is not covered through your homeowner's insurance. So anybody out there with homeowner's insurance, make sure you figure that out, because that's a bullshit clause that they're going to fuck you on as soon as they can. So anyway, we go through and we provide all the evidence that there's an enormous water leak. We show them all the water bills. We do all this stuff, and they said, okay, great. If obviously now that the plumbing's fixed, no problem. That's on us to fix. We fixed it. Well, they said if there is any damage in the house, we'll cover it. I was told this by my insurance agent, and we were told through extensive emails back and forth with our claims adjuster, which we get assigned whenever you file a claim with an insurance company.
Right, yeah.
So, that happens. In the meantime, all this stuff is happening, and then on January 24th of 2022, we have Anna's birthday party. We had one of those little GE profile nugget ice makers. You know the ones I'm talking about? It makes like the Sonic nugget ice. It's, probably about this big. It's small, not very big. The water container is not connected to a main water line. It's actually a self-contained ice maker that you fill up the tank with water. It pulls the water out and makes ice out of it. Maybe holds 2.5 gallons. Well, during the party, I fill it up because we had a bunch of people coming over to eat at our house. We get it all set up, get everything in there, and I put the tank back, or the water container back in the ice machine. Leave the room because it was in our pantry. Come back maybe an hour later, between 30 minutes and an hour, and all of it is all over the ground. There's a little hose that goes from the tank to the actual reservoir inside the ice maker that had accidentally gotten bumped and disconnected when I was moving stuff in and out of the pantry, and it just dumped out all over the ground. So we cleaned it up as quickly as we possibly could. I like I said, I don't think it was sitting there for maybe more than an hour. Now, keep in mind, this is all still flooring that's less than a year old. It has been sealed properly. It has been installed properly. It's red oak, but it's a manufactured red oak, so it's kind of like a groove. So it's I don't really know the best way to describe it, but it's got like an interlocking system. So think similar to laminate, but not quite laminate. Obviously, it's thicker. So anyway, we get it all cleaned up. Within 2 days, there is significant what's called cupping and peaking, where all this water spilled. And I mean, like, it's laid out. You could draw a line around it, and it is exactly where the water was spilled. So I call the claims adjuster, I call my sales rep. I say, hey, just as a heads up, I don't think this is going to be a big deal because you all have already told us that if there was any damage, we've got the claim with the water, and there was water damage through the majority of the house running all along where the main water line comes in our house. That's where the water damage was happening through the rest of the house, and then this damage is on the far other side at the front, away from where all this other stuff is happening. So anyway, I tell her, I'm like, hey, I don't even think there's anything necessarily to do, and I'm not going to try to do a secondary claim because, I'm not trying to stick it to you guys or anything like that. We just want the floor fixed that we just had put in that's brand new, Right. Obviously, we've got water damage here, and according to what we've been told by our insurance company, it should be covered. We'll take care of it if there's any damage inside the house. Okay, well, that's the way we continued operating. So they send out their claims adjuster on sometime in April. We fixed the leak in December. So there's no water leak anywhere in the house. And he shows up in April like, hey, I don't see any evidence of any leak. Okay, well, that was 4 months ago, you moron. Why in the world are you showing up now, you dumb? And the guy didn't even identify himself to me. He just said he's from Farm Bureau. I'm like, okay, well, I'm working. I've got to get back on a call. Do what you got to do. And then they send out one engineer. The first engineer says, I agree with everything you're saying because everything you're saying coincides with the damage that I'm seeing on the floor. I see damage all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Awesome. Super. Well, he leaves, and then 3 days later comes back with another engineer from the firm that he's working at and says, hey, we've got to review this. Why? We told you what happened. We showed you the water bills. We've showed you all of the evidence that supports what we say. It's not like we're trying to lie to you. What's going on here? Well, we're just making sure that we cover all of our bases. Well, 2 weeks later, we get a denial with their report attached to it. And I'm like, okay, well, based on the evidence that you have and all the support that you're saying in this report, That's fine. The source of the water was not inside the house. So let's just say that for the sake of example that that's what happened. Okay, well, we still have this significant spill that already is showing damage. You can see the damage. We provided all kinds of pictures and video and everything else to show that there was water damage on that floor. Nope. Not going to take that into consideration at all. So they just threw that out as well. And I was like, well, how in the world can you do that? Those are two completely different instances. So I call my sales rep again and say, hey, I'm just doing what y'all told me to do. Based on what you told me, this should have been covered. And she said, yeah, it should have been. But they should have done it as a separate claim. The dates were within like 3 months separated or something like that, as far as when they started, when the claims numbers were all assigned and all that stuff. So it never should have been on the same claim anyway. Well, this claims adjuster acted like he was just trying to do us a solid and keep the paperwork easy. Find out that he was just trying to deny it all in one claim. So we do it again. Say, okay, you're going to play this game. We're going to submit the claim for the source of water in the house. We do that. They send out another engineering firm that says exactly the same thing, except for now they're not saying the same source of the problem. They're saying completely different sources of the problem. And they're not even taking any consideration for any other water damage that's in the house. They're basically denying that it even exists. And I don't know how anybody with a brainstem that does anything with floors can look at that and say, yeah, that's fine. But no, they're perfectly fine saying that. So anyway, the long and short of it, they end up denying that claim too. So we're like, okay, well, maybe we just didn't know our policy as well as we should. And we're just going to have to eat it on this. It is what it is. Well, I call my sales rep again, and I said, I'm not going to give any names for her, because honestly, if it was not for the rest of her dickhead company, I would still be working with this woman. She was incredible. She was a great sales rep. She did everything she could to help us. And while we're talking on the phone, I said, this is what's happened. This is what the source of damage was. We have showed all kinds of evidence to support that it's not just rainwater that's pooling in certain areas, because the stuff they were saying, it just didn't happen. I've lived in that house for 30 years. I know that what they're saying does not happen with water. They can think it all they want, but it doesn't happen. It's not just pooling in these spots where they think it's pooling. And if it was, there would be other signs of groundwater damage, like sheetrock damage. If it's wicking up through the concrete to damage the floor, it's also going to damage the walls and the cabinets. Duh! So anyway, we get to today, 4 years later, after dealing with all kinds of crap. We have a lawyer that we hired that ended up bailing on us sometime in the end of 2024, I believe. We had to get a brand new lawyer and try to fill him in on all the specifics of what's been going on. So we built our case on two specific pieces of information. Was that there was an enormous amount of water that was lost, that there was too much evidence to show how much water was being pumped into our yard to ignore that and say that it was groundwater. It was coming from the plumbing in the house. And they're like, well, the plumbing runs underneath the house. Okay, yeah, but it comes up into the house in some spots. It has to. It can't just be underneath the slab permanently. And when the plumber came and fixed the pipe, he put in a sleeve that ran, I believe he said it was 20, maybe 30 feet long, that ran up the entire duration of our pipe. Our house has got an old foundation. This house was built in like 1982 or something like that. So it's an old house. I get it. So anyway, we get to court today. Our entire case was built on that enormous water leak and the first engineer that they sent out to our house agreeing with us. And then they sent somebody else from his firm to disagree with what he had said and paint it as groundwater. Well, He was supposed to be on the stand today. We find out 5 minutes before we're doing jury selection that he can't even show up. He's been disallowed by the other side. And so I'm just like, okay, so obviously what this is this is a bullshit system where the big dogs who have the money to payroll this shit can bend you over a barrel and you can't do a damn thing about it. And you sure as hell ain't going to get help. So don't expect it. And so anyway, like we get done with court and I'm just it was not even a split decision. It was unanimous in favor of Farm Bureau because all of the key witnesses, all of the key evidence, the main person that we built this case around was completely thrown out. I'm like, how the hell are you supposed to build a case when all of the evidence that you have is thrown out? It's just fucking crazy. So yeah, there's my rant. You know, whatever level of faith that I may have had in our judicial system, I just realized that it's, bullshit. So, yeah, rant over.
You feel better?
No, I probably won't feel better for a while. I need a blood pressure cuff on right now because I'm sure it's going to be like 250 over, 200 for a good 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, you got like a vein here. I can see it pulsing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky has seen this level of blind rage since our Halo days.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, this is horse shit.
Yeah, there it is. I've been waiting for it the whole time. I'm like, where is equestrian defecation at?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But it was just infuriating because it's like, we did all of this and we've spent 4 years having them move the goalpost the entire time. Every time we think we're getting close and like, hey, we finally got a court date. Oh, yeah, by the way, we can't make it on that day. We're going to move it 6 months down the road. Great. Okay. I mean, we bring in witnesses that half of them, the ones that we were able to get to be on the stand, it was like, yeah, this was 4 years ago. Yeah, of course they can't remember exactly every minuscule detail of what they were looking at with the floor. And even more insane, these guys are all professional floor installation specialists. Like they do flooring, they do remodels, they see damage like this all the time, and every single one of them was not allowed to attest in any capacity where they thought the source of the water came from, where they thought the damage came from.
Right.
It had to be completely thrown out.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
So I've sat on a jury once in my life, and this won't make you feel any better, but I at least understand where you're coming from. I've sat on a jury once in my life, and it was a murder trial.
Mm.
Yeah, it was fun. And by that, I mean it wasn't fun.
Talk about that now? Has it been long enough?
It was before I even met my wife, and we've been married for 13 years. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's been a long time ago. Yeah. Anyway, so wild story. Just let me cut to the chase. This guy who helped his boyfriend commit suicide, had a claim, like he claimed that he had like multiple personalities, and right. And
I didn't do it. It was him. No, it wasn't. It was you.
Right. The great part about it was, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which of his personalities was called to the witness stand?
Right. No, that was. The kid was not living. I say kid. The guy was not living in reality. Yeah. And he thought that he could change personalities kind of at will, like it was some kind of
superpower,
Yeah, and like all of his personalities were named after his like favorite sci-fi characters.
Listen, if you're going to go for the insanity plea, I admire the effort.
But no, this wasn't. It wasn't just an insanity plea. Like I think he believed he was. Either he thought he was smarter than everybody and then he was tricking them, or he really did believe that he was doing this.
Yeah.
Either way is kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
So-
always a chance it could go either way.
Right.
You
and
know
so they
those
had
people.
they had like a psychologist on the stand who I guess had done some evaluation of this guy's mental
Psyche.
acuity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't allowed to make like a judgment statement on schizophrenia and like multiple personalities. It's like this is literally this guy, and the problem I had with that was like okay, you're supposed to be a member of the jury and you're supposed to be impartial, but all of us knew that dude was bullshitting the whole time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I don't care what you tell the psycho doc, and when I say psycho, I don't mean like crazy, but like the psychiatric doctor.
Yeah, psychiatrist.
I don't care what you tell him. He can or can't say. All of us know this is not reality. This kid doesn't have multiple personalities because that's not how multiple. You want to know about like schizophrenia? Like you watch A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
A Beautiful Mind is I think is a pretty accurate. Well, actually, like stay out of my comments.
Give us a comment if you disagree with Mr. Dick here about the accuracy of A Beautiful Mind.
Right. So, but like in this guy's case, because it's based on a true story, a true real person. The
movie. Yeah.
the
Okay.
people-
Sorry. I
Right,
thought you were talking about the
movie.
courts case for a second. I was like,
No.
Are you
Well, okay,
having some
but
dissociative
in the movie.
disorders there for the court case? Yeah, this was based on real events. And how you talk about yourself? Everything that I went on a rant earlier was based on real events that happened to me today.
Me to like dun dun at the beginning.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
Yeah.
These events are based on real.
Like the South Park scroll, like characters have been modified. Any likenesses is
Oh my
coincidental.
God, they killed Clint, you bastards!
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
Anyway, so like, where the hell was I going with this? The
Talking about the guy being
psychologist,
full
the
of crap.
psychiatrist.
Yeah, he's not able to say
Right.
that he's full of crap.
Because, and I think part of it is, and this is the part that I hate about it, because it's like, it was so. I mean, if he had been able to speak and give his professional, informed opinion, the defense had
No leg to stand on.
chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
And so, like, he wasn't allowed to talk to that because then he would have essentially won the case for the prosecution.
Which and that's one of the things that I have such a hard time with, because we had almost exactly that same situation. Which, you know, I don't know how the jury would have reacted to this engineer's information, but based on what he told us, if he had gotten on the stand, we won the case. Because it's not the same as in a murder trial where they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil litigation, it's just I kind of lean towards this or kind of lean towards this, and whichever you lean towards more, that's the side you vote on. And if it's everybody votes the same way, then that's who wins. So if he gets on the stand, his testimony alone, I genuinely believe, based on everything that he told us, that it was like a 99-1 chance that we walk out of there without some kind of victory. Now, you know, whether we got what we originally filed suit for, probably not. I wasn't worried about that. It was more about the getting the W than walking out of there with a lot of money. I would have been fine winning the case and not getting a dime, if I'm being completely honest, because I think these insurance companies are screwing people. And
They absolutely are.
yeah, I mean, part of which I don't know if I'm supposed to even talk about that, but the reality is, it's over now. It's not going to make any impacting decision on the jury or anything like that. Part of the jury selection process, they ask questions to, you've been part of a jury. They ask you questions to discern whether or not you are going to be an impartial juror. And their lawyer asks, now I know everybody in here's probably not had the greatest of relationship with their insurance company, and everybody starts laughing. Like, anybody had a dispute with their insurance company? Ha ha ha! Like the whole 40 people in there are laughing because everybody has a dispute with their insurance company. You try to get something paid, and they do everything they can to either not pay you or pay you the very, very minimal amount that they can, not to, take care of you. That's not what they're about. That's not what they do. They're there to get your money as quickly as possible and to give you back as minimal as possible. They have bonus structures at most of these companies to incentivize the claims adjusters to give you the smallest amount possible. So the less money they pay out, the more bonus they get at the end of the year. Tell me how that works. And that's not hearsay. I know how it works. So anyway, I don't want to talk about this all night. I just could not help but go on a rant here because at the end of the day, anybody out there that's dealing with their insurance company, I hope you know that you're not alone. There's other people dealing with it too. And maybe if enough of us can stand up, they'll start actually doing their damn job. So, segue into what our actual topic of discussion this week is. Cost of living.
Yeah. And maybe we should start our own insurance company.
I've thought about it. Like, hey, come do insurance through me, and I'm just going to, be a good person. Like, not be a garbage person. That's right. We're going to call it integrity insurance. You don't have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, and you don't have to look through our 70,000 page contract of what your insurance policy states or doesn't state to find look, there's this fine print that excludes you because you built your house within 75 yards of a river and it got washed away in a rainstorm. Sorry, that's groundwater. What? What? My house is gone.
You needed to sign up for the what is it called? Yes.
Yeah.
You needed to sign up for the special insurance for that.
Yeah. You got to pay
supplemental
5 times the premium. Yeah, we're not going to do insurance in Florida anymore because you're basically guaranteed to get a hurricane. Why the hell do you think I'm paying for insurance?
Yeah, the insurance in Florida is a problem, actually, just in general. Like,
yeah. So anyway,
and understandably too, because like
I get
to an extent, like
I know
every year,
I am definitely one of those people who believes that if you're in a business, you should be able to make money at that business. But you should not be able to make money at that business while making your model about designing processes in your system to hurt your customers. And a bonus structure built around keeping payouts as low as possible, that is incentivizing bad behavior.
Yeah,
believe what you want. It's incentivizing bad behavior.
And we can't just quit them. Why can't we just quit them?
Yeah. Yeah. If you kept all the money that you paid in insurance for health insurance, for homeowners insurance, for car insurance, for any other random insurances that you're required to have, you would probably have an additional $15,000 to $20,000 at the end of every frickin' year.
That reminds me. I remember someone was recently talking about changing something so that Americans could take home more money to pay for their own insurance. Anyway.
Go on.
That
Oh.
was it. I wasn't going to
Yeah.
get too deep into it because we're headed down a path that I think
Yeah.
you and I
No.
both decided we don't want to go down.
Yeah. So, getting into cost of living. So the reason I wanted to talk about cost of living this week, which I came up with the concept before we had this fiasco with the legal system and our insurance company. But I wanted to shine a light on a problem that it seems like there is one belief from a employer perspective and a completely different belief from an employee perspective. So you're working at a corporate job. I've worked at corporate jobs in the past. I know many people who have worked at jobs where you're on a W-2 salary. That's fine. Sorry, a gnat just attacked me. So one of the things that that you have to keep in mind whenever you're looking at your salary. So when you get hired on, especially at one of the bigger corporations, what they do is they give you what's called a salary range. So they say
Right.
your range of salary is, for the sake of just making up a position, you are a supervisor at this job. Your supervisor salary range starts at $50,000 and it caps out at $75,000. Okay? So because of your level of experience, we want to, give you credit for that. So we're going to not start you at the absolute floor. So we're going to start you at 53. Okay? So you're not at the floor, but that gives you some room to grow. Okay.
Sure.
So
sure.
you're at $53,000. Okay. So at $53,000, and I've got a calculator over here to make sure that I'm giving you accurate numbers.
Ooh.
Okay. So at $53,000, based on inflation. So let's say that they get you at $53,000. You are locked in, and let's say, for the sake of an example, that you got hired in 2020 at $53,000 in this supervisor position, and you did not get another raise. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, your salary is worth significantly less right now just based on inflation, which, as far as I'm concerned, the government numbers that we're given for inflation are completely bogus, because I went and pulled the official numbers for inflation for the past 5 years. So this is 2021 through 2025 listed inflation rates for those years. So, 2020 through 2024. Okay, let me pull up my numbers real quick. So if you started at the end of 2019 at $53,000, after 2020, there was 1.4% inflation. Okay, that's great. That's barely anything. 1.4% inflation means that if you did not get another salary, your salary increase, no cost of living adjustment or no raise, nothing. You're still at the $53,000. You know what? Let me start over. I'm going to go to 50 just to keep the numbers slightly more rounded, so it becomes more obvious where the difference is. Okay, so you start at 50.
Okay.
You're at $50,000. At the end of 2021, you're making $49,300. The equivalent.
The buying power of
Exactly. That buying power that you had in 2020 was $50,000. In 2021, it's the equivalent of
less.
your starting point being at $49,300. Okay. Not a huge drop. It's, a little under $700 that you dropped. Okay. Not huge. It'll add up, but not huge. Okay. Year 2. So we're in 2022. End of 2022 now, 7% interest. Which, I don't know if anybody else remembers, but 2022 is when things went insane. 2021 was not great. Sorry. 21 was when everything went insane. 22 was almost as bad, but but 21 is where everything went insane. I would be shocked if real Americans did not see 14-15% actual inflation on what they spent money on. Because the thing you have to keep in mind from an inflationary perspective, they're taking all costs into consideration across all indexes, not just what most Americans are paying for. I don't care how much a yacht went up. Oh yeah, a yacht went up 3%. Who gives a shit? The top 0.001% of Americans actually care that a yacht is more expensive now. It makes no difference to me, but it's skewing that statistic. So just keep that in mind from this is the inflationary rate. Okay, so at the end of 2021, you're at let's see. You're at $46,000. So now you're $3,000 in the hole from what you were when you started.
Jeez.
Okay, yeah. No, just wait. It gets better. This. Okay, now 2023. You're at another 6.5%. Now you're at 41%. So, no, sorry, 43%. $43,000 after 3 calendar years. You've lost almost $7,000 of buying power in 3 years. That's like picking up a car payment that you don't get a car for.
Yikes.
Yeah. At the end of 2023, you're down to $41,500. And at the end of 2024, which for 2023, it was 4.1%. Like I said, still heavily skewed towards stuff that really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know. And then in 2024, inflation was 2.9%. So in 5 years, 5 calendar years from when you started, you are now at $40,395 of buying power if you've not gotten a dime of a raise. So, if you get what's called a cost of living adjustment, which is what a lot of these companies like to do. They say, okay, well, we're going to give you a raise this year. It's going to be a cost of living raise. We're just going to give you a 3%. Okay. Or 2%, or whatever metric they decide to give you. So they tell you they're giving you a raise. But here's the problem.
I just got a 3% raise this year.
Yeah, but here's the problem. And I'm not saying that all
feel bad
companies
about
do
it.
this. I'm not saying all companies do this. And obviously in a year where inflation is not 6%, okay, yeah, that's not bad.
Okay. Sure.
But if your raise is substantially, so like for example, in 2021, if you got a 3% raise on a 7% inflation, which is probably closer to double that. Now do you see where the problem starts adding up? So
wages are going up, but your buying power is still going down.
And the problem is a lot of these corporations seem to be, especially the bigger ones, seem to be saying, okay, well, we gave you a raise, so you have better penetration into your salary range, because the range was 50 to 75, and now you're at, okay, we're going to give you, let's see. Sorry, I need to update my calendar, or my calculator real quick.
It's like, what are you doing on your calendar for? What the heck?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. No, not there. There. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to do, a lot of companies do between 2 and 3%. So I'm going to do an average of a 2.5% raise.
Okay.
For every year for those 5 years. Okay. So, in order to be making the same amount of money based on inflation, after 3 years, starting at 50, you're now at 56,570. Okay? That's what your raise would be at that point.
Oh.
But to have the same buying power that you had in 2020, including those raises, obviously, you're going to have about a $70,000 salary at that point.
Whoa.
Yeah, $70,000 to have the same buying power. So, obviously, you can see that a cost of living raise, yeah, it's nice and it makes you feel a little bit warm and fuzzy when they give it to you. But the reality is, unless you're getting at least what inflation is, you're not getting as much as you actually think you are. So, just kind of some food for thought for everybody, and honestly, I think it's a bad practice. I think that companies need to start doing better by their employees, and the cost of acquiring a new employee is so prohibitive that it does not make sense to me why, if somebody comes in and they're doing an adequate job, I'm not talking about somebody that's doing a poor job. If you have all kinds of problems with this employee and they're coming in and asking for a raise, and you're like, you haven't delivered on any of the stuff that you said you needed to do this past 6 months. Why in the world would I give you a raise? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the guy who shows up, who gets the stuff done, who does more than what he's asked to do. He steps in and fills in when team members are on vacation, or takes on extra responsibilities when asked to. All that stuff. Give him a raise. Put him further into that salary penetration. Stop trying to figure out excuses to not pay people.
Yep.
Because it's going to cost you a lot more in the long run. Because if you go hire somebody to replace them, you're going to have to pay probably their salary plus 20-30% to replace them. Because the reality is the employees just aren't there anymore. So if you got one that's already doing the job, keep him.
Yeah. The further you can get them to penetrate, the more happier they're going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody likes a little bit deeper penetration.
Yeah.
Go deep or go home.
Exactly. And you know what? A little bit of a little bit of extra on top just helps, lubricate, things to get
Vaseline.
Head
and shoulders.
In a pinch, maybe. If you're traveling and you forgot to. Anyway.
Well.
Glad we got that sorted.
So yeah, anyway. That was just my little tip for the day. Just the tip. To give everybody kind of a heads up, like, hey, you know what? When you're getting cost of living, just keep in mind, I'm trying to educate people and make sure that you understand all of the financial implications of what's happening with your money. So, that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to make it a little bit lighthearted and fun in the meantime. So,
it's nice to know that inflation's going the other direction now. Like, we're having deflation.
Yeah, at least something.
Yeah, usually for me, deflation's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And
no, you don't want things getting smaller.
Yeah.
Anyway. Things getting smaller.
What does it cost?
So yeah, we have decided to dub this segment the Clintorical.
Yes, because it seems like he has prescient knowledge about these things somehow.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I was pretty surprised that I was able to get both of them as accurately as I was yesterday.
Well, last week. We'll see how well you do.
So
this week.
I tried to make them a little bit more harder this week. Like I said, I'm probably going to at some point have to pull Anna in and have her do some of the research for this stuff, because I'm doing everything I can. The source that I'm using to get this information, I have a way of getting it without actually reading any of the specifics. I'm having it basically come through a PDF that I don't see and all this other stuff. So I have no foreknowledge about this information, and we've got I think it's 2 examples again this week.
Yes. Yes, two
Okay.
scenarios for
So
you.
so yeah, same as last week, same rules, and I am going to I am going to try to do this. I added a stipulation in the information I was requesting for it to have both a range and a like this is the price, whether that's like an average price or whatever. And my goal is to land on the price that's explicitly listed, not the range. Obviously, if I get in the range, I'm going to consider that I did reasonably well. But my goal is to land exactly on the dollar number that has been provided. So
Sure.
here comes number one for the Clintorical section of the show.
Gosh. If you get these too, I'm just...
So do you think they're harder or easier than last week?
So this first one seems a little bit odd. Actually, if I read you this scenario, like the company name, you're gonna be like, "What the f?" Like, who does these? I mean, I'm not gonna hate on anyone who can make a business doing anything, because like,
Hey,
power to you.
yes. If you
Right?
figure out how to get people to pay you money to do something, power to you. You're doing something incredible.
Yep, absolutely. But like, bro, what is it? I mean, how do you fucking work? I don't understand. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you see that van or that truck go around, and you're like, they do what now?
Yeah. I don't even know
There's
how.
a market for
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So often I see something and I'm like, I wish I could say that it surprises me that there's a market for that, but there's a market for so many things on this planet that just really do boggle my mind.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, so here we go. Let's dive into it. Scenario 1.
All right.
Commercial ice machine descaling and sanitation.
Commercial ice machine. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let me get my notepad out. I need to write this down because commercial
the magic notepad. Clint is jotting his thoughts and observations on
commercial
ice machine descaling and sanitation.
And okay. All right, I got it.
All right, you ready?
How many M's are there in ice?
All of them.
I got too many. I got too used to spell check.
How do you spell ice?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that an ampersand?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called ampersand.
Yeah.
All right, so a specialized maintenance company services commercial ice machines for restaurants, hotels, and event venues. You know, I actually think there's probably a bigger market for this than I was, initially, because if you've ever been to a hotel and seen their ice machine,
they got a lot of them.
I think I've walked away from some being like, I ain't getting ice out of this.
Oh yeah, no,
nasty
for sure.
ass.
Yeah. Somebody has obviously had their balls in that.
I mean, it almost looks like a horse has in some of them. Let that mental image percolate for you.
And that's never off the table. There's always a chance, no matter how small, that a horse has had his balls in your ice machine. It only has to happen once for there to be a chance.
Just
anyway, go on.
This service focuses on descaling, sanitation, and performance verification rather than repair. All right, so if your machine's broken, we don't care. We're just here to clean it, man.
So it's just to clean it. Okay.
Yeah. So some job details.
All right.
They specialize in medium-sized commercial ice machines. They do have to do some partial disassembly and deep cleaning.
Okay.
They use food-safe chemicals.
Okay.
Average on-site time is 2 to 3 hours. They also provide documentation for health inspections, and they can do this service quarterly.
Okay. So they do it quarterly.
Yeah.
Is this
That's every 3 months.
Yeah. For those less educated on calendars like me.
Calendars.
Yes. Okay. So they do it. They can do it, but this fee, I'm assuming, is just a one-time. This is the price to have it descaled and sanitization.
Sanitization. Nice.
Yes.
You did not make that up. That's an actual word.
That is an actual word. That's part of their service package. And we all know what it means when they have a package.
I got a service package for you.
Anyway, okay, yeah. So, okay, is that all of the details?
I mean, other than the pricing, but yes.
Okay, so those are the details. So you said 2 to 3 hours on site, some disassembly required. They use their own cleaning materials and stuff like that.
Plus, they provide documentation.
Okay, so some kind of report that they cleaned it and did whatever. I don't know, testing. I don't know if they can confirm that there's no scales on there or like take pictures that they're proving that there's not scales there or whatever. I don't know. Okay. So 2 to 3 hours. I am going to say, based on the fact that there's probably some special equipment that they have to use for the descaling. Because I have, which obviously this is not something that I ever charged for, but as I was talking about earlier, our ice machine, we had some scaling buildup inside of that. It happens with tap water because, let's be honest, tap water is disgusting. Anyway, so yeah, I'm saying there's probably some level of strenuous physical labor involved, not necessarily requiring large levels of strength, but just stamina, we'll say.
Stamina. There you go, stamina.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with
consistent motion stamina.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut here, and I'm going to say $725.
You're a little high.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking, because I was like, okay, it depends on what kind of specialized chemicals they're using, because there may be some higher end stuff that so okay. I don't want you to give me any hints. So other than just I'm a little high. So if that's the case, then I'm going to go with $475.
Price range charged to customer is between $350 and $650.
What's the average there?
500.
500. Yeah, I was close. I didn't get it nail on the head, but I was close. And listen, yeah, no, I know that my first guess was a little high, and the only reason that I do that is because I would expect a first-time cleaning to be $725. And I would be willing to bet a significant amount of money if I called them right now to have them show up and they're like, yeah, this is the first cleaning that's been done in a year or more, it's going to cost more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They have to take longer.
But yeah,
it's going to take longer to do it.
So we'll call that one, I'll let you give me a grade on how well I did there. Because I was within 25 on my second guess.
I'll grade that a horseshoe.
A horseshoe, okay.
Yeah, it's close.
And that's on a scale of 4-leaf clover?
We'll see. Well, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Ah, okay, so it's not a hand grenade.
So it's not a hand grenade, but it's a horseshoe.
Okay, so if I'd have said 495?
I mean, you'd have been right on the money.
Okay.
Nail on the head.
Yeah.
Nail on the head.
Okay. So that's what I'm trying to figure out what your scale is. So 495 puts me within a 1% margin. So,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So now you've got to give me some kind of random business that I got to figure out how to deduct that.
Man, I mean, really tough to find a random one because it's such a specific application.
Specific niche. Anybody who's going to have, we're going to skip this one for this week because the problem is this is such a very specific niche of a market. If it's a business that has that ice machine, they have to pay for it to be clean. So I'm going to go with what you're saying and just give that one a. The IRS is not going to argue that because anybody that puts that on their taxes is obviously paying to have their ice machine.
Right. I mean,
and obviously, even people in the IRS don't want horse balls in their ice.
Not 100% of them.
Listen, I have not talked to many IRS agents. I do talk to them quite frequently. Next time I get on the phone with them, if I don't care about getting hung up on, I will ask. Which is always a chance that you got to care because when you've been on the phone on hold for 3.5 hours with the IRS, you do not want to get hung up on. But
because then you got to sit on hold again.
Exactly. Maybe when I finish, like asking all my questions, I'm like, hey, just in case, how do you feel about horse balls in your ice machine? Now that you've answered all my questions,
it's funny that you ask because.
All right.
My gosh.
Scenario number 2.
Okay. All right. So I read through the name of this one, and I'm still not sure I completely understand what it is. Okay. Like we said earlier,
we'll just try to stumble through it together.
This
is a learning show. And the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Yeah, there you go. The star. Industrial Control Panel Thermal Imaging Inspection. Say that 3 times fast.
Industrial Control Panel
Thermal Imaging Inspection.
Okay. All right. Wow, that's a doozy.
That is a whole mouthful that is tough to swallow.
It's one of those things where it's like hearing the whole thing just explained as when you're doing an invoice for that. Like, what did you have done? We need to figure out a way to condense this because I'm going to run out of energy just writing this out. Okay.
Like, you can't even make a cool acronym out of that. ICP.
ICUP. Hey, that's already
right, but like
amazing.
Well, yeah, but ICP TII and Sons.
And
like
Sons. Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, okay.
Tits. ICP tits. Something like that. Well,
okay, R. Kelly.
I mean,
calm
there's
down.
a T in there somewhere.
Yes, an inspection.
Listen, I went into accounting
where you
reason. I was always bad at geology.
Still are. It's like you can tell when they really wanted to spell a word with their acronym when you see it spelled out and they like capitalize just the letters that they put in the acronym, but like that letter's like in the middle of the word.
Oh man, ain't that the truth? Yeah. Not being there very subtle there, are you, bud?
Yeah. No. All right, so
as subtle as a hand grenade.
Yeah, as subtle as a hand grenade. So I used to take my car to a place, and the acronym for it was DSA. And I asked the receptionist lady, who was the owner's wife, I was like, "What's that even stand for?" And she's like, "Domestic suck ass." And I'm like, "Did he really put that on an application for business?"
That is amazing. And the next time I start when I start our LLC for this podcast, I am 100% doing something like that. If I can make it shaped like a phallus it's happening.
I mean, there's got to be all kinds of crazy stuff that the government sees
Oh,
people
man.
try and pull
Yeah.
off with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
Okay, so where were we?
the description of this
right.
service.
So it's an electrical services firm that provides thermal imaging inspections for industrial electrical control panels as a preventative maintenance and insurance compliance service. That was a lot.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
a lot of big words.
So they bring in a camera and they do thermal imaging on your industrial control panel.
Industrial electrical control panels.
Electrical control panel. Okay, that gives me a little bit more context. Okay.
So like your fuse box, right? Is that what that is?
Okay, so can I, because to be perfectly honest, I have no idea how big an industrial control panel is, and I'm assuming that the information that you have does not give that specific. Am I allowed to look up what that actually is? You get to decide because you're the host.
Hang on. I'm the hostess with the mostest. Industrial electrical control panel.
If you want to share the picture, you can share it. That way you can decide what I see and don't see.
Oh, dang. Yeah, no, go ahead. You can look it
Okay.
up. I'm not sure how many of these are just AI.
Yeah.
Boy, isn't that the truth of life right now?
You know, I think it's everything's AI. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So not huge. I'm assuming the one you're seeing is, I don't know, if I had to guess, probably like 2 to 3 feet wide and maybe 3 to 4 feet tall.
I mean, dude, that's a pretty big electrical panel.
Yeah, I know.
Considering the one that runs my house is like this tall by like, you know what I mean? Like it's got two
so
banks.
it's probably about twice the size of a control panel. Maybe 3 times the size of an electrical control panel inside a house.
Right,
Obviously, I know it's hard to tell from a scale, but I see a small box inside of it that looks like it's probably, about that big. Looks like it has some clips and parts in it. So I would say that that's probably a reasonable guess as to how big it is.
Okay. All right. You ready for some more details?
Yes.
All right. So, scenario setup: manufacturing facility with 25 electrical panels. All right. So I don't know if that's supposed to be an average, but they'll do a facility with up to 25. We'll say up to 25 electrical panels. The panels are inspected while energized. They have a thermal camera that identifies overheating and failure risks. The inspection is completed during normal operations, and the client receives a documented risk report with images.
Okay. So, one question, based on what you're saying, is the price including up to 25 different industrial control panels, or is it per control panel?
I made that part up because it just says manufacturing facility with 25 electrical panels. And like, I imagine it's going to be a range.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like if you've got 2, it shouldn't take as long or cost as much to do 20.
Right. So, and I mean, I'm not expecting you to give me any kind of details about the numbers, but would you expect that to be for 2 or for the 25?
So the price range here, I think, is calculated based on 25.
Okay. So it's like a full building.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I wanted to say, because I'm not sure if they're charging by the panel or if they're charging by the building, but from an estimation perspective, it's going to make a significant difference for my guess if it's one versus a whole building. So okay, I'm going to do. Let's see. There. Okay. So, based on the fact that these are live boxes, like have electricity running through them, I would say that they're probably also paying significant amounts of money on liability insurance because of the fact that it's electrical. Obviously, from a thermal imaging perspective, they're not touching it in a lot of ways, but I would assume that if they're saying that something's good and the company finds out that it's not, then they're going to come after them. So for a building that with 25 units, 25 panels, I'm going to say I feel like I'm probably going to be high, but I think I'm going to say 16,500.
You lost the plot on that one, man.
Not even close?
Oh, man, you're way off.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like high or low?
Way high.
Really?
Like, you want to give me
don't give me any information about how far
all right.
You're just way high. Okay. Man, that's kind of surprising. Okay, so if that's the case, 3,200.
You're still high.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm apparently not the Oracle this week.
Oh man, we beat him! Yeah.
Really? Yeah, you got me. So how much?
1,800 to 2,600.
Really? I mean, like I said, this is not nearly as complex as it looks on these pictures, but I'm looking at these pictures of what an industrial control panel is. And I'm like, I mean, but I guess that probably goes pretty quick when you've got a thermal image. Like, it's like, oh yeah, is that hot? No. Okay, moving on. Maybe it is. Okay, so yeah, I was off on that one apparently.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That one is. I mean, I don't feel like there's a lot of without knowing exactly what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you assume they're going to take thermal
because, like
pictures.
I said, I have no real knowledge of that industry in any capacity. So, it's probably throwing me off just a little bit.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's like, did you ever play the games when you were a kid, like where you had to make up they figure out who you were going to marry, and you had to check off the letters, and they'd have a made up profession. That's what this feels like.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh no! He ended up as a horse butt scrubber again.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to be honest. I'm kind of surprised that I was that far off on that one because
that was factor 10.
Yeah, I was way off. off.
You were way off.
So, and I'm going to give you some reasoning behind why I was way off. So number one, like I said, I think there's some level of risk there because of the electricity factor. I mean, obviously, if you hire an electrician, you're going to be paying more for them because there's some level of danger to doing electrical work. Insurance is also going to be higher because of that. But like I said, that being said, I have no real level of understanding of what an industrial control panel actually entails and what's inside of it. I mean, obviously, looking at the picture, Yeah, if you have a thermal camera that just looks at that and says, "Oh, this spot's hot and this spot's not," okay, that makes sense. But yeah, knowing and understanding what you're trying to price makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah, sure. Because
So
what's it worth to you?
yeah, that's true.
I think that also has a lot to do with it too. Because like, it's not that's not worth a lot to me because I don't operate in that environment, and I don't operate in an environment where making sure that all of that works well is essential. I
Yeah,
guess you could say.
right.
Like, if it goes wrong, you could be out hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right. That was
So,
part of my other thought process of why I was guessing a little bit more money for something like that. But yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'm 2.5 for 4.
you are the Clint Nora
Yeah.
Oracle.
Yeah. An oracle. Yeah. Well, I did not win this week, so
Haha.
maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll do better next time. But yeah.
We shall
So
see.
so we're gonna go into our going deep segment this week, and we're gonna try to keep things a little bit more speaking in general senses perspective. We had, like I said, I've had a day and a
Yeah.
half. Just it's just been not a great day, and stress and all that stuff. But we did want to talk a little bit about the new segment that Mr. Dick has been doing in our channel every morning. Is he's putting out tips for the day, just the tip.
Just a tip.
And I've been seeing them pop up on my phone because he records them and uploads them to our channel. And one of the things that I like, so priorities, make your bed, slow down. Nothing has to be done right now. Making slow, doing something the right way is better than doing something quickly. And so I think there is a good level of support to the fact that we as individuals, as men, as fathers, as humans, whatever asterisk you want to throw on there, if we have intention of moving forward in our life and having some level of an upward trajectory, then creating goals and just small accomplishments for ourselves in a day, that's going to make a huge difference in our outlook on the day. And I'll be the first to admit that today I feel like I ate a shit sandwich. Because the reality is that's in layman's terms
Yeah.
what I really did. We had a court case. We have been waiting for 4 years on this. We've had some level of confidence going in, and then we get there, and things did not go at all the way that we planned. And yeah, I was mad about it. I was upset, stressed, and it sucked. But I'm done. I learned from it, and I've had my eyes opened to a few things because of it. And that's one of the things that, while I don't love that the situation ended up the way that it did, at the very minimal, I can take those lessons and apply them to the rest of my life and try to teach them to others. And, even as a father, teach them to my kids. Hey, you know what? If you're ever in this situation, learn from what happened to me and set yourself up in a way for success. don't get lost in the details. Plan to succeed. I mean, even in the court, like, and I'll be the first to admit that Anna is so much better at this than I am. She has a much more positive outlook on things, and she had just a glimmer of hope in her heart that things would still go our way no matter how badly things seem to be going in court. Through all the witnesses that they brought and their engineers and everything else, and just keeping focus on, well, the reality is most people don't like their insurance companies. I wonder why,
Yeah.
but stuff like that, and so I try to model my life in a way that I can do that better, because I know that's somewhere I struggle. And, public speaking is something else that I struggle with, which is why I've always tried to get better at speaking clearly, making my thoughts coherent, not saying 4,000 times when I'm trying to think through a thought process. So when I'm having this podcast with Ricky and we're, talking through things, which I have not announced this yet. We have started an official Discord for the Clinterific Show, and we would love anybody who feels like they're looking for a community that is humor around the realities of life, whether that's finances, whether that's men's health, whether that's father's health, things like that. We are all about you joining that community. So if you're interested, I will connect put a link for the Discord down in the description for our podcast this week, and it'll be in the description for all of them going forward. So anybody who's interested in joining, we would love to have you. You want to get in there, shoot the breeze, have somebody to talk. You want some advice. You want to talk through something. You have a finance question, a tax question. I'm all about helping. So just come in there and let me know. We'll do what we can for you. I've got some pretty good levels of experience in accounting and taxes and things like that. I'm not a psychologist. Dick here is not a psychologist. We're not, trained to provide the perfect solution and advice, but if it's something that we can help with, we're all about it. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you feel like joining that community and having some level of sense of community, stop on by. So, Dick, do you want to fill in the gaps anywhere with the thoughts? Because you're kind of the purveyor of the truths that have been spilling out of our channel, and I love hearing them because when I look at my phone first thing in the morning and I see that, I'm like, okay, this is something that I'm going to try to do today, or try to do going forward, or just kind of keep in the back of my mind. So,
one of the things I was thinking about when I was making these shorts, and it kind of goes back to one of the first ones I did about, you as a person, taking charge and making, deciding you're going to have a great day. And I really just, I've learned a lot in life. And for me, one of the best ways to have a great day is to help someone else have a better one.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's always been one of the things that I found will pull me out of the dumps and out of a slump fastest, is to stop focusing so much on myself and do something for someone else. And it's something my career used to be more centered around, and I kind of lost that. And so now all of the internet gets to bear witness to all my little sayings and opinions, and hopefully there's some of you out there that will find some help in them and will relate to them, appreciate them, and that will make my day better every single damn time. So if it makes a difference for you, I'm glad. If you want to, you can let me know. If not, I'll keep doing it anyway.
Sounds good to me. It's made a
Yeah.
difference for me, Dick.
Ah,
I've just, I've succumbed to the realization that I need more dick in life. So
every guy comes to that.
waking up with dick is just, it's just a better way to be.
Yeah.
So,
And sometimes it's hard too. The little tips, they aren't the easiest. And
listen,
sometimes you need to face reality and deal with a hard tip in the morning from Dick.
if I had a nickel for every time Dick made things a little bit better, I would have at least one.
No, you'd have two.
And listen, if Dick's making your life better, go down there and just grope that like button. Fondle the subscribe button if you haven't. Give it a good rub down.
Yep.
We would like to receive the happy ending of you subscribing to our channel, and
Absolutely.
And we've
Join
got
us.
some great stuff coming up in the next few weeks. Hopefully, have some interviews and some guests to break up a little of the monotony of Mr. Dick here and I talking about finances and how much shit costs and all that stuff. But excuse me. But yeah, so that is our wrap for this week. So we thank everybody for stopping by again, and if you stuck with us through the whole episode, kudos to you. And thanks for coming and listening to my obnoxiously long rant. But yeah, if you love insurance companies, give us a thumbs up too. I'm sure we would get probably more thumbs downs from that one. So, but anyway,
Hey, insurance companies.
yeah. So anyway, we'll see everybody next week, and yeah, we'll let's see. I'm trying to think. I think. Okay, so yeah, next week you will get to experience our Valentine's special because the recording that we do. So Valentine's is on February 14th. So we're going to do our Valentine's special next week.
Is it? Okay.
So we'll have some love advice and financial tips for you for Valentine's Day. So
Called Don't Spend Any Money on Singles Awareness Day.
And those are going to be some real good tips. Anyway, so yeah, see everybody next week, and yeah,
Make it a great one.
Make it a good one.